The Trump administration and sanctuary cities are locked in a battle. This conflict has been brewing for years, with both sides digging in their heels, refusing to back down. The stakes are high, and the consequences of this clash will reverberate across the nation for years to come. It is a battle for the soul of America. At its core, this struggle is about what kind of country we want to be. Do we prioritize law and order above those that came here illegally? On one side, we have President Trump. He has made it clear that he believes in a strict interpretation of immigration laws. His administration has taken a hardline stance, arguing that sanctuary cities undermine federal authority and jeopardize public safety. He is fighting for the rule of law. To him, the enforcement of immigration laws is non-negotiable. He believes that without strict adherence to these laws, the very fabric of American society is at risk of unraveling. His supporters argue that this approach is necessary to maintain order and protect citizens. He is trying to protect American citizens. The administration's policies are designed to prioritize the safety and security of the American people. They argue that by cracking down on illegal immigration, they are preventing crime and ensuring that resources are available for those who are here legally. On the other side, we have liberal cities. These cities have declared themselves sanctuaries, refusing to cooperate with federal immigration authorities. They argue that their policies are a moral imperative, often putting the needs of illegals over the needs of legal citizens. They are defying federal immigration law. They believe that the federal government's approach is overly harsh and inhumane. By providing sanctuary, they aim to create a more inclusive and just society, where everyone has the opportunity to thrive regardless of their immigration status. They are putting Americans at risk. Just look at the recent incident on a New York subway where an illegal immigrant, who had already been deported once before, murdered a woman by setting her on fire while she was sleeping, and then sat back and watched her burn. How many more innocent people need to die? How many more families need to be torn apart? This is not an isolated case. We have seen hundreds of cases all across the country of illegals committing violent crimes, including everything from violent gangs taking over apartment complexes to murders and rapes. It is a fight that we must win. The outcome of this battle will shape the future of the United States. It will determine how we balance security and compassion, law and humanity. The nation watches as these two forces collide, each side unwavering in their conviction. The safety of our nation is at stake. As the battle lines are drawn, the American people must decide which vision of the future they will support. The choices made today will echo through history, defining the legacy of this era and the character of the nation for generations to come. Sanctuary cities are a danger. They refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities. They release dangerous criminals onto our streets. These criminals are free to kill, rape, and steal again. Sanctuary cities claim they are protecting immigrants. This is a lie. They are protecting criminals. They are putting their citizens in danger. President Trump has a plan. He wants to deport illegal immigrants. He wants to finish building the wall. He wants to end sanctuary cities. These are common sense solutions. They will make our country safer. Democrats oppose these plans. They want open borders. They want to give amnesty to illegal immigrants. They want to turn America into a third world country. Section 4, obstructionist Democrats. Democrats are obstructing President Trump at every turn. From the moment he took office in 2016, they have been relentless in their opposition. They have used every tool at their disposal to block his agenda, regardless of the consequences for the American people. They refuse to fund the wall. Despite the clear need for stronger border security, they have consistently voted against any measures that would help build the wall. They claim it is unnecessary and a waste of resources, but the reality is that it is essential for the safety and security of our nation. They filed lawsuits to stop his travel ban. Even though the travel ban was designed to protect Americans from potential threats, they argue that it is discriminatory and unconstitutional. They took their fight to the courts, hoping to overturn the ban and open our borders to anyone who wants to come in. They are protecting sanctuary cities. These cities refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities, allowing dangerous criminals to roam free. Democrats support these policies, putting the lives of law-abiding citizens at risk. They prioritize the rights of illegal immigrants over the safety of their own constituents. They are putting their own political interests ahead of the good of the country. Instead of working with the president to find solutions to our nation's problems, they are more interested in scoring political points. They are willing to sacrifice the well-being of the American people to advance their own agenda. They do not care about the rule of law. They are willing to bend or break the rules to get what they want. They have no respect for the legal processes that have been put in place to ensure fairness and justice. Their actions undermine the very foundations of our society. They do not care about the safety of American citizens. They oppose measures that would enhance public safety, such as increased funding for law enforcement and tougher penalties for criminals. Their policies make it harder for police officers to do their jobs and keep our communities safe. They only care about power. They're more interested in maintaining their own positions of influence than in serving the people who elected them. They engage in backroom deals and political maneuvering to stay in power, regardless of the cost to the country. They are traitors to this country. By putting their own interests ahead of the nation's, they are betraying the trust of the American people. Their actions are not just obstructive, they are dangerous and seditious. It is time for them to put aside their partisan differences and work together for the good of the country or be removed from office. Section 5. The Constitution is clear. It is the supreme law of the land, and it provides a framework for governance that must be adhered to by all states and citizens. The Founding Fathers meticulously crafted this document to ensure a balance of power and to protect the rights of individuals while maintaining the integrity of the Union. Immigration is a federal issue. The Constitution grants the federal government the authority to regulate immigration and naturalization. This power is essential to maintaining national security, economic stability, and the uniform application of immigration laws across all states. When states attempt to create their own immigration policies, it leads to a fragmented system that undermines the federal government's ability to effectively manage immigration. States do not have the right to nullify federal law. The Supremacy Clause of the Constitution explicitly states that federal law takes precedence over state laws. This means that when there is a conflict between federal and state law, federal law must be followed. This principle is fundamental to maintaining a cohesive and unified nation. Sanctuary cities are in violation of the Constitution. By refusing to cooperate with federal immigration authorities, these cities are undermining the rule of law and creating safe havens for individuals who are in the country illegally. This not only poses a threat to public safety, but also erodes the integrity of our legal system. The 10th Amendment does not give states the right to ignore federal law. While the 10th Amendment reserves certain powers to the states, it does not grant them the authority to contravene federal law. The amendment was designed to ensure a balance of power between the federal government and the states, not to allow states to operate independently of federal authority. The Supreme Court has ruled on this issue many times. In numerous cases, the court has upheld the principle that federal law supersedes state law. These rulings reinforce the importance of a unified legal system and the necessity of adhering to the Constitution. The judiciary plays a crucial role in interpreting the Constitution and ensuring that its principles are upheld. Sanctuary cities are breaking the law. They must be stopped. It is imperative that all levels of government work together to enforce federal immigration laws and ensure the safety and security of our nation. By upholding the Constitution and respecting the rule of law, we can maintain the integrity of our legal system and protect the rights and freedoms of all citizens. In conclusion, every public official, whether elected or unelected, takes an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. If you are siding with illegal immigrants and placing their needs over the needs of legal citizens, you are violating your oath and should be immediately removed from office and charged with sedition. Illegal immigration has become an invasion, an invading army. If you are giving anything to an illegal in the form of housing, food, or even employment, you are committing treason and should be dealt with accordingly. I hope that the Trump administration goes after these corrupt officials and uses the full weight of the legal system to teach them and future generations a lesson. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and it is time that the left stops bending it to their political needs.